Are you getting enough protein, especially after 60? My parents eat pretty healthy. As they've got older, they've been eating more plant-based foods, more vegetables, and generally making healthier choices. I was happy about that. But recently, I noticed something that made me look at the meals differently. They have much less muscle than they used to. And I started asking a different question. Not just, is this meal healthy? But where is the protein? Because here's the surprising part. You can eat a very healthy meal and still not getting enough protein, especially as you get older. So in the next few minutes, I want to make protein simple by asking 3 questions. How much protein do you need? Why does it become more important as you age? And what does enough protein actually look like on your plate tomorrow? First, how much protein do you need? Let's start with a number you've already heard, 0.8 grams per kilogram per day. That is the RDA, the recommended dietary allowance. For protein, the RDA for a healthy adult is 0.8 gram per kilogram per day, or about 0.36 grams per pound. So if you weigh 150 pounds, that's approximately 54 grams of protein per day. But here's the important distinction. The RDA wasn't designed specifically to optimize muscle preservation or athletic performance. The RDA is a useful baseline for adequacy, and there isn't one perfect protein number for everybody. Your needs can change with your age, sex, body size, activity level, health status, and goals. For example, many expert groups recommend around 1.0 to 1.2 grams per kilogram per day for healthy older adults. For our 150 pounds person, that's roughly 68 to 82 grams per day. The second question, why might we need more as we get older? Because aging muscle becomes less responsive to protein. We call this anabolic resistance. Think of protein as knocking on the door of your muscle. Build, repair, stay strong. When we are young, our muscles hear that knock pretty well. As we get older, the same knock may not produce as strong a response. So we need a stronger signal. And here's the critical part. That signal isn't just protein. It is protein plus resistance exercise. Protein provides a building material. Resistance exercise tells your body, I need this muscle, keep it. That's why simply drinking more protein shakes while remaining sedentary isn't the answer. So, what does enough protein actually look like on your plate? Let's make tomorrow's meals. For many healthy older adults, instead of eating very little protein at breakfast and lunch and almost everything at dinner, spreading protein across the day makes sense. Think roughly 20 to 30 grams at each main meal, depending on your individual needs. You don't need a food scale at every meal. You need a protein anchor. For your breakfast, instead of just toast and coffee, start with something substantial. About 1 cup of Greek yogurt can provide roughly 20 grams of protein depending on the brand. Add some berries and nuts and you have a simple breakfast. Plant-based, use soy milk with oatmeal, nuts, and seeds, or build breakfast around tofu. Lunch, maybe you have beautiful salad. Great, but ask, where's the protein? Add about 1 cup of cooked lentils, which provides roughly 18 grams. Add some whole grains, seeds, or other protein-containing foods, and now you build a much more substantial meal. Dinner. About half a standard block of firm tofu can provide around 20 to 25 grams of protein, depending on that product. Add vegetables and a whole grain. Now you have a simple plant-forward dinner with a meaningful protein source. So don't memorize a nutrition textbook. Remember this. 3 meals, 3 protein anchors. And check the nutrition facts label because products vary. Now a bonus question. Can plant-based diets provide enough protein? Absolutely. Plant-based diets can provide adequate protein. Soy foods like tofu, tempeh, edamame, and soy milk are particularly useful. Beans and lentils are excellent. Nuts, seeds, and whole grains contribute protein too, and you don't have to obsessively combine specific plant protein at every meal. A varied plant-based diet can provide the essential amino acids you need. But as we get older, we need to become more intentional about quantity, quality, and distribution. Research on older adults support paying attention not only to total daily protein, but also to meaningful amounts at individual meals and combining adequate protein with resistance exercise. One important caution: please don't hear protein is important and conclude more must be better. It isn't. If you have chronic kidney disease or other significant medical conditions, your protein needs may be very different. And someone receiving dialysis can have very different requirements from someone with non dialysis kidney disease. If you have health conditions, talk with your physician or registered dietitian about the protein intake that's appropriate for you before significantly increasing or restricting it. So here's what I'm doing differently with my parents. I'm not telling them to stop eating plant-based. I'm asking 3 simple questions. Where's the protein in their meal? Are you getting enough throughout the day? And what are you doing to challenge your muscles? Because the goal isn't simply to live longer, it's being able to get out of chair, climb stairs, carry your groceries, travel, play with your grandchildren, and remain independent. Here is the whole video in 20 seconds. Number 1. Protein needs are individual, but many healthy older adults may need more than the standard adult RDA. Number 2. Don't just count your daily total. Put a meaningful protein anchor at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Number 3. Protein alone isn't enough. Protein provides the building blocks. Resistance exercise provides the signal. So tomorrow, look at your first meal and ask one question: where's my protein? I'm Dr. Jessica. If you want practical, evidence-based ways to build a healthier life, subscribe and I will see you next time.